A former Dixon police officer is speaking out after the release of surveillance video from inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. He's now viewed the video twice and says his response would have been quite different. Now, we want to warn you, the video you're about to see may be upsetting. News 8's Josh Lamberty joins us now in studio with the officer's reaction and what he says police needed to do. Josh?
Yeah, John, Mark Dallas says the police response in Uvalde is not what officers are trained to do when responding to an active shooter. But it's video like this that leaves him baffled and confused about what happened. Just after 11:30 in the morning on May 24th, a shooter walks into Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
We've been training since 2001 for this in Dixon.
That training is not what Mark Dallas saw reflected in the next 77 minutes.
You go in, you eliminate the threat. It's as simple as that.
Dallas is a retired Dixon police officer.
You got one arriving back here in the back.
Who confronted and arrested an active shooter at Dixon High School in 2018.
I would have never stayed in this hallway. I would have been in that room.
For more than an hour.
It's an active shooter situation. We don't train like that.
Officers waited in that hallway.
I'm baffled. It's either lack of training or just being ordered to hold, which I've been in trouble before with orders, and I would have disobeyed that order.
I see the officers responding to the shots being fired in the school by retreating. And to me, that means that the officers were not trained in an environment where gunshots were being fired.
Scott County Sheriff Tim Lane has watched the video too and says that decision to move back set the tone for the whole response.
And our training specifically addresses that. And an officer that goes into an active shooter event will have had experience of going into a simulated active shooter event, hearing real gunshots.
Later in that response,
a ballistic shield that would stop that guy's round.
More equipment arrives.
This high-dollar equipment just sitting here doing nothing.
Dallas's training was different.
We had engaged a long time ago without any of that equipment.
And after analyzing,
yeah, it's kind of unorganized.
Dallas's view is firm.
19 cops out here, go. Flood that room. Yeah.
77 minutes.
Way too long.
Too long of a response. Now, Officer Dallas is an advocate for more resource officers in schools. He says the only way the system's to stop school shooters is to have those officers in place. He also says the training needs to be specific for those schools and the officers. Now, Sheriff Lane says his resource officers receive special training for these types of incidents, and other deputies train for active shooter situations each year. John?
All right, thanks, Josh. A Texas House committee investigating the mass shooting is expected to release video and findings from its investigation on Sunday afternoon.